Okay, just now I've come across a proof on the product rule, which gave some really inadequate explanation on how things actually work, because they made a lot of arbitrary decisions that ultimately confuses the reader, the average math learner, instead of actually teaching them how it works. So I got too annoyed at it, and now I'm going to run another proof. So y equals uv. uv, u and v here, is a function. It can be any function like, I don't know, x, oops, um, x squared minus 1, x cubed plus x squared. It can be anything. It can be anything. So we're going to prove this using first principles. Principles. Right? So the small change in y, which is, well, I'll show you later once I finish writing everything. The small change in y is u plus small change of u times v plus the small change in v minus uv. This makes sense because if you draw it out like this, let's say this is uv, this u plus delta u, blah blah blah. This thing is that thing, whatever it's called, u uh, and v. All right. If we cut, if we subtract from this line, let's say around this size, let me color it in. It would be, let's say this black part is uv. We would, what's remaining is a small change in y. So it makes sense. It makes sense. So after this, we can just expand this like normal. Uv plus u delta v plus v delta u plus delta u delta v minus uv. And we can just cancel these two terms out. And what we're left with is u delta v plus v delta u plus delta u and delta v. All right. And let's write delta y here. First, we want our goal. This is our goal, all right? We want to make this entire equation here resemble this equation. When it approaches to 0, delta y over delta x. All right, this is what we want. Because this form is the same as dy dx, the thing everyone knows. Remember, one common pitfall is someone thinking that this is the same as this, which is simply not true. Alright, so how can we reach to this? How can we get this from this? So first step, it's just simple algebra. We divide everything by delta x. U, v, not d, dx plus, pardon the, sorry for the car noises in the background, dx plus this, oh god. All right, after that we'll just let's rewrite this a bit to make it a bit cleaner. U delta v delta x plus v delta u delta x plus, and you can, okay, you can factor out each of this, any one of these. All right, you can factor out this u, this v, it doesn't matter, you'll see why. Let's just use the first thing that's closest, v dx. All right, now let's add this limit here, so we can just rewrite everything as so limit delta x approaching 0 equals u Remember, this makes sense because it's just multiplying. Okay, I should have just written everything out first. Alright? Okay. This, why it doesn't matter which one you factor out with. It's because of this one step. We're going to assume that the small change in u, or like the small change in u, or the small change in v is approaching to 0. We're going to assume this too. I forgot to write. However. Alright. Approaching to 0. Delta x. I mean delta y, delta x. Finishing everything off. And what we end up with is, well, anything that's, let me zoom in a bit. Anything that's multiplied by 0, it's just 0. And now, remember this? Actually, no, let me rewrite everything real quick. Alright, so this is what we have in the end. And remember what I showed you just now, this part. It's this the same as this. We can apply the same concept here, so I don't have any spaces left to write. So dy dx is u dv dx plus v du dx. And here we have it. There's our product rule. Product rule. Now, I feel like more proofs should have, should specify where they made arbitrary decisions, because arbitrary decisions really makes the reader more confused and actually understand what things are happening here. So yeah, that's all.